All right, guys, welcome back to the garage. Today we're going to do a quick look at some products from ZRP Racing. Hopefully get this car one step closer to getting back on its wheels. A much needed upgrade for this car. We're going to do a side-by-side look at the stock hubs versus ZRP Racing units. So these are the stock units. This is the front hub, cast aluminum piece. This is the rear hub, also a cast aluminum piece. One of the downsides of these, it has the C-clip holding the bearing in. That C-clip always comes off. The bearings don't come out, but it's just annoying to constantly be snapping that C-clip in. One of the solutions ZRP has come up with is this cap system. So it requires a special tool to remove this cap. It allows you to remove the bearing. So that's a nice upgrade. Another upgrade on the rear is this cap section for the rear toe link support. On the stock unit, it's just single shear. This one has a shock therapy toe link support, which requires you to modify the rear hub by drilling it out, adding these spacers in. And that supports the rear toe link a little bit better, stops it from ovalizing the aluminum. ZRP's taken care of that problem by adding this extra material. They got a really nice ARP bolt in there and a anti-rotation system that keeps that bolt locked in there. So these are really nice. If you pick them up side by side, not too much weight difference, but these are really beefy. Also, this material here is really nice to have, as you get rocks in here and it'll bend this portion of it, and then your brakes will be rubbing. So that's also another benefit of these. On the front, also very nice 70-75 machine piece. Beautiful machining in there for the ball joints. We'll be running Keller ball joints on these. Also ARP for lower ball joint hardware. And we're going to pair these up with the rear trailing arm bolts. These are 17.4 stainless steel hardware. Beautiful engraving, has ZRP logo. So those are factory replacement bolts. Those are very nice unit. But yeah, overall, very nice pieces. We're excited to put these on the car. We'll go ahead and throw these on and kind of show you our assembly process. All right, spent some time and got the front end hardware cleaned up and laid out. I got the front disc brake assembly. These are wheelwood rotors. We also run the wheelwood brakes for the Canam UTV. Run factory Canam stock front axles. And again, we'll be installing the ZRP front hub assembly. So just kind of using some axle grease to grease up the splines and some WD-40 to clean the parts off. And we'll be pairing this up with our HCR suspension. HCR makes some nice chromoly arms. We'll also be using Keller ball joints. And these are Hess Motorsports tie rods. So that's pretty much sums it up for the front end. We'll go ahead and get this installed and try to get this car back on all four. All right, we're going to go ahead and attack this passenger side front assembly. So I've already gone ahead and prepped the axle splines with some grease, cleaned out the interior of the diff. We'll go ahead and align these splines, send it home. I've also put a light film of anti-seize on the upper and lower ball joint and dressed this stud with some Loctite. Go ahead and install the nut. Spin that on. I'll lift up the assembly and slide the axle into the hub. I did go ahead and put some grease on the inner race of the bearing and also the stub portion of the axle. Next up, we'll get our ARP hardware provided by ZRP. We'll go ahead and slide our ball joint there. Nice. Bolt slides right in. Go and put the nut on the back. And I also dressed the interior and exterior race with some grease. I'll go ahead and slip that on there. Put your axle nut on. Go ahead and get the tie rod installed. The misalignment spacers. Slips right in. Drop the bolt. All right. And then we'll add our wheelwood brake rotor assembly. I've also dressed this hardware with actually red Loctite on the brake assembly. I'll keep our calipers on there. And we'll go ahead and torque this up. Everything seemed to fit really nice. Willwood brakes, Hess Motorsports tie rod, Keller ball joints, HCR Racing, control arms, OEM Canam axles. Everything fits real nice. We'll go through here and torque and add our cotter pins assembly. But yeah, very nice hubs. Seem to fit really well, and excited to test them out on the track. All right, that pretty much sums up the ZRP Racing front hub install on a Canam X3. Got everything torqued up, got the cotter pins installed. Very nice OEM fitment. They also pair very well with some of the aftermarket components we're running on this car. Very pleased with this. Really looking forward to seeing how they function at the track. Mostly just durability is what I'm expecting out of them. Not really expecting any handling changes, but very nice units. Tomorrow we'll tack on the next part of the project, which is the shocks. I got those cleaned up here. And we'll go ahead and put some videos of the way the car handled before and after with the shock assembly. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.